out of the Fort Pitt Tunnel and looking at downtown Pittsburgh, you're right at the confluence. It's the Allegheny and the Monongahela forming the Ohio River, and that's the takeoff spot. The defending champion, Takahiro Omari. Davey Height, another defending champion, unlucky early. The emotion of the tournament, this year's Angler of the Year. And the man that's always emotional, Mike Iaconelli, who won it 2 years ago in New Orleans. This year we are in Pittsburgh. Day one, the weigh-in of the 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic from Mellon Arena. You need a keen eye, a clear mind, a steady heart. Yes! Patience and the power of positive thinking.
Always got to believe in this yourself, number one.
Intellect mixed with instinct. A feel for angling deep in your gut.
What every bass fisherman dreams about right here.
And maybe an angel or two on your shoulder.
You know what that is? That's a smell of money.
Some will get away, others will arrive.
Yes!
Either way, nature will be respected. Character will be revealed. And a champion will be anointed.
That's what we live for. These are the days, these are the moments.
In the vast waters of Pittsburgh, turn proving grounds. One catch can change a man's life forever. In the Bassmaster Classic. Looking at an aerial view of Mellon Arena in downtown Pittsburgh, the site of day one of the weigh-in of the 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. And inside, look at this crowd and feel the energy. They are up and fired. And they know full well that this is an event that very, very few times do we have a runaway in this event. For instance, the last 2 years of the tournament, the winner has not really caught the winning weight until the last 15 minutes before the championship was actually decided. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. With this kind of excitement, ESPN will be here with you all weekend long. An hour show today, and in 12 hours over the next 2 days on ESPN and ESPN2. Let's take a look at the rules, and this is what the guys will abide by this weekend. 3 days of competition on the three rivers, 47 anglers, field cut to 25 tomorrow. 5 fish limit per day, and they must fish within the boundaries. Highest 3-day total weight will win the championship, $200,000. Right now, let's go upstairs. Bill Clement is standing by. Bill and his friends. Bill, what do you got for us, buddy?
Ron, thanks very much. Well, we've kind of stacked the deck this year with angling talent. World-class angler, a guy that's fished in the Classic 3 times, Shaw Grigsby is back, and world-class bachelor from The Bachelor. I know you hate that, but you got to plug that in. I'm going to get your fishing credentials in. He's also our Bass Center guy, Byron Velvick. He's also a BASS pro angler and holds records on the tour there. How'd I do with that?
He did great, man.
Okay.
I know hold that challenge, but that's it.
Okay.
I only fished in the Classic 10 times.
He's a machine.
Well, I was only off by 7 then. Okay, I owe you one. I want to set the record straight. A lot of the anglers in their pre-fish and their practice 4 weeks ago said, you know what's going to be tough? There aren't going to be many fish. They're going to be small fish. What's reality going to be?
The reality is they are going to be small, but they're going to catch a lot of them. And it's just a tough river to fish, and I guess that plays into some of the California guys.
The Western guys are going to love this. I mean, this is what they're going to be used to. Is not a lot of bites, not a lot of fish. The fish are small. We're used to that too. And like Ron said, this will not be a runaway event. We both know that.
Mentally tough is going to be important. The pros that have been here, you know, the seasoned veterans, they're going to have an advantage too because they've seen this type of condition before.
Well, we're in Pittsburgh, and folks, if you've never visited the beautiful city of Pittsburgh, you got to put it on your list of places to go because the three rivers that really are part of Pittsburgh are where the anglers are going to be fishing, and we want to show you the rivers, the Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio. So there are really 3 distinct fisheries that the anglers will be able to explore during the Classic. Shaw, why don't you take us up the Allegheny?
Well, the Allegheny River actually flows up here. It's the shortest section that they have of the river system. It's only 14.5 miles long. They have one lock on this river. So it comes up here, and it's a single chamber lock, so it's possible that they'd have barge traffic and get stuck up there. So that's the Allegheny. It's going to have some fish in it.
How about the Monongahela, Byron?
Well, yeah, say that 3 times. All right, here we go. The Monongahela. Monongahela. 2 locks, 41.5 miles of water to cover. A lot of guys spent their 1 day of practice in here. It was heavily favored by the pros. This is the place to go. Double lock system. No risk of getting caught with the barges coming through. Good place to go.
All right, the Monongahela and the Allegheny actually come together, flowing downstream to the confluence here in Pittsburgh, and past the confluence is where the Ohio starts, and that is downstream from there. The anglers can actually fish over 31 miles of water in the Ohio River as well. Okay, so we got 3 distinct fisheries. You touched on mental toughness, and obviously we talk about physical abilities when we're talking about world-class athletes, and that's what these guys are, but with the tough fishing with the small fish, how important will mental toughness be here?
Absolutely a key. I'm going to tell you, these guys can go out and they may fish half a day. They may be 4 or 5 hours into the day and not have a keeper bass, and it works on your head. So you have to know, and it's a good situation, but you have to know that you can always stay in the game here.
Absolutely, and this is the thing. You're not getting a lot of bites. You need to stay focused. Again, I'm going with the Western guys on this one. I know I'm prejudiced. I know I'm West Side. I'm throwing it out there, baby. But the West Side guys just don't get a lot of bites to begin with. There's not a lot of fish out where we come from.
There's some serious good tough anglers in this game that are used to this. The Gary Klein, the Iaconellis, all these guys, you know, Kevin.
Here's the bad news. Pick one.
Oh,
Who's
my God.
going to win it?
Ike
Iaconelli.
and Kevin, I'd like to throw 2 in there. Those guys,
VanDam.
they've been duking it out all year.
Okay, but wait a minute. That's 2. That's enough.
I've been
Byron,
saying it
1.
for months. I've been saying it since Bass Center. You put me in a corner, I'm going with Aaron Martens. Pick to win, spin to win. It's a guaranteed deal for me. He's my favorite.
Now wait, he wouldn't be a California native like yourself.
I think he's from
Wait a minute. No, now, where'd he move? He moved to Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Aaron Martens and you've got Mike Iaconelli and VanDam. And speaking of Aaron Martens, last year in North Carolina on Lake Wiley, we nicknamed him the Troll because he fished virtually 250 yards from the launch site, finished 2nd last year. So in Pittsburgh, an infinite number of bridges from which to choose.
Bridges. We're no stranger to bridges, and he loves it here.
Where's Aaron Martin? Near a bridge, right?
Unbelievable.
But he's unbelievable. Well, the man that has finished twice, 2 out of the last 3 years, is about to weigh in. He is Aaron Martens, and he's coming in with Keith Allen. Keith, take it away.
Oh, we are fired up and ready to go. How about a big warm welcome for the 2005 Citgo Angler of the Year, Aaron Martens. How you feeling? How you feeling, Spin? A big day for you today. I hope the Angler of the Year with an opportunity to join the history book, Spin. How was the day out there, brother?
Very tough.
Very tough. Well, I see you got a bag right there in that live well. Why don't you reach in and grab it, see what we have in store here.
Yeah, I got some bass.
He's got some bass. Let's see what they weigh. Dude, you're coming into this event, the Angler of the Year. As you know, really only one person's ever backed up an Angler of the Year title with a classic title. Is that something that's been on your mind?
Not really. Just come in this tournament fishing my hardest and trying not to think about things like that. It's added pressure.
Just let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a limit of 5 bass right here. Let's see. You need 6 pounds and 3 ounces to take the lead away from Jimmy Mize. 6'3" is the magic number, ladies and gentlemen. Get on it, Trip. 5 pounds and an ounce on those 5 bass for Aaron. Let's take a look at some of the action on the water today with Aaron. Well, there you are around the bridge again. Something that worked out for you last year. Is this an area that you're focusing on? Look, you don't want to spill the beans. You don't want to. No, we just kind of hung out there for 5 minutes and left.
No, I fished a lot of spots. You gotta move around a lot here, and you know, I'm using a real light line until they take a while to get in. These little guys, and I don't know, man. I'm moving a lot. They look good when they're flying, but when you hold them, they shrink up. A lot of that going on today. A lot of that. Look at that. Barely, yeah. That's just how it is. Dude, keeps. That's just how it is here. It's tough. Yeah, it goes up. You gotta wind fast. They come at you. I had more than I thought. I thought I had 4.5, so I'm very happy with that weight.
How many short fish today?
Over 20.
Well, you've got yourself on the board with 5 pounds and an ounce. You're in second place right now. How about a hand for Aaron Martens? Go get him tomorrow, brother. Sending it right back up to Bill Clement.
We're here.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. Early in day one of our weigh-in here, the 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. Aaron Martens moves into second place behind Jimmy Mize, but remember, 40 anglers yet to weigh in. And remember, one of them is the man that was announced yesterday as the greatest angler of all time, Rick Clunn. He edged out Roland Martin in the voting, and Rick Clunn is on the water. He has won 4 Bassmaster Classics. He is here in Pittsburgh trying to make it 5. We will have Rick Clunn weighing in and many more anglers here in day one of the Bassmaster Classic. The 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic is brought to you by Citgo, by Mercury, and by Toyota.
Rick is pretty much the man, the boss, the Mac Daddy. He has won everything he's ever fished in.
The pimp, the firefighter. I mean, this guy is the ultimate.
It's just phenomenal the things that he's done and achieved.
Rick Clunn is the man.
And all of those accolades right on. Welcome back to Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh. Rick Clunn, the only man to win 4 Classic championships and also the only man to qualify 28 straight years for this event. Both of those records might stand forever. Right now, let's take a closer look at the icon of pro bass fishing, Rick Clunn.
I am Superman, and I can do anything.
Rick Clunn is Superman. He's won 4 classics. He was named Angler of the Year in 1988 and had an unprecedented streak of 28 straight classic appearances from 1974 through 2001.
It's still a hard one for me to even comprehend. I mean, gosh, it seems like it only started yesterday, and when people say you had 28 in a row, and I don't mean this to sound bad, but it was so easy. You know, I never thought about not being at the Classic until the first year I wasn't there.
Clunn first missed the Classic in 2002. He missed it again the next year, and then again in 2004.
I had achieved every major win that was capable of achieving in this sport. And I'd done most of them more than once, and most people don't ever do them even once. So it really just became motivation.
Clunn has had a rejuvenation this season, qualifying for the Classic once again.
I really remind myself, and my wife has helped me a little bit, of what it was like to be on top. You see it with Michael Jordan, you know, he wants to recapture, he attempted several times to recapture his old self. Can you do that? I don't know. I'm gonna try.
You know, it's interesting, 30 years ago, Rick Clunn and I would sit on his back porch in Montgomery, Texas, and talk about, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had television on the BASS Tour? And wouldn't it be even greater if we televised the Bassmaster Classic? Guess what? Dreams do come true. Let's go back to Keith up on stage.
He's a 4-time Classic champion, the greatest angler of all times, the legendary Rick Clunn. Voted by a panel of his peers and you, America, Rick Clunn. 28 consecutive classics, now fishing in his 29th. An unprecedented 4 world titles. Rick, congratulations and welcome back to the Classic, my friend.
Thank you, Keith. It's pretty humbling, you know, to get all these accolades, and I had a tough day today. That's not unusual. In this type of business, you have to take the humble with the good times, but
you got anything in that live one?
No, I don't.
Well, come right this way. We're going to talk anyways, because I know this is a tough fishery, and you didn't earn the title of greatest angler of all time just by being a willy-nilly fisherman that goes out every other weekend. You got to adapt. Adjustments and consistency is probably the key to the success over the years. When you get to a fishery like this, how do you adjust?
Well, it's really one of the strangest fisheries I've ever fished in my whole life. And I've been doing it now for 33 years. And what I mean by that, I have fished very tough bodies of water. We've had tough tournaments. I like tough tournaments. You know, it requires a lot more of your skill when you have a tough tournament. But I've never fished a fishery where I can get 20 bites a day and maybe have 20 more fish follow and still not be, you know, putting the right fish in the boat. You know, the day of practice we had, I probably had caught 21 fish and probably saw another 18. The day was not quite that much, but I still got a lot of bites. And there's a lot of fish here. The future looks good, but I also know there's got to be mature fish there because something had to spawn all those fish I'm looking at.
Well, let's look at some of the fish, some of the action today here on the water with Rick. I see you picking up that spinning rod. That's not something we see very often out of you.
No, I'm usually in trouble if you see that in my hand.
Keeper. That might have been a keeper.
Yeah, I just had one hit a top water. It was probably the closest thing I had to a keeper hitting today. You know, it's had a lot of fish. I mean, about any time you put on the right structure, you'd have anywhere from 4 to 10 fish follow your bait back to the boat. And within 2 or 3 casts, you catch one probably anywhere from 6 to the biggest fish I caught today is about 11 1/4. So it's just a matter of getting those that are the right size. Nobody to blame but myself. I've always had this little equation when it comes to fishing that if nobody in the tournament catches a limit, then I'll blame the water. But if one person catches a limit, then you got to blame yourself.
So a tough day for Rick Clunn, but that will hardly tarnish his resume. Check this out, 29th Classic appearance, and he has won 4 times. The greatest angler of all time is still Rick Clunn, regardless of his 0 today. And one of the most colorful characters here at the Classic is California native Skeet Reese. Always good for a laugh, always good for something, including today on the water.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is good. How many of you can say you caught a fork?
Well, when we left you, Skeet Reese had a keeper, but it was a salad fork. You can't keep salad forks in the Classic, so things got a little better for Skeet Reese. He was wheeling him in, and he ended up with enough keepers. And the limit here, remember, or at least the qualifying length is 12 inches, and Skeet Reese did, in fact, end up with his limit of 5 fish. And in spite of the fact that he said it was the smallest limit ever, there he is showing off one of the small ones. Skeet Reese was able to move up our leaderboard, actually into 4th place now. But remember, we're in the early stages of the weigh-in, so a lot of big names yet to come. And Skeet Reese is one of the real characters on the tour. One of the quiet men is Takahiro Omori, a man that left Japan in the early 90s in spite of his parents' wishes to move to the U.S. to become a professional bass fisherman. Well, what did he do last year? He returned to Japan as a hero because he was the 2004 Citgo Bassmaster Classic champion. Did it come easy? No, it came in the dying moments of Classic 34.
On the last day of the 2004 Citgo Bassmaster Classic, Japan's Takahiro Omori, with only 2 fish in the live well, was in need of some last-minute heroics.
Big one. All right. God, big one. God. Yes. Yeah. All right, one more. God, another one. Yes. Yeah. Ah!
He became the first truly international champion in our sport last year from the land of the rising sun, defending Classic champion Takahiro Omori. Takahiro on top of the world, baby. Backed up his Classic title with a win at the season opener in Toho. Takahiro, how was your day today, my friend?
Well, I did all I can. I show you what I got.
Reach in and show us what you got there. It's a difficult day for a lot of anglers out here. He's got one fish in the bag, it looks like. Come on up, and let's talk a little bit about this opportunity that you have before you. First of all, you went home last year a world champion, and when you left Japan, a lot of your family and friends said, "You're crazy, what are you doing?" How well were you received when you came home as a world champion last year?
Well, they had a real world welcome. It was great. They changed completely.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah. It's amazing how winning the world championship kind of swings them over after that, right?
Exactly.
We'll weigh this one fish. It's going to lock in at 1 pound and an ounce for Takahiro. That gets him on the board in 9th place. And let's look at you on the water today. You take a long run this morning or a short one?
Yeah, I went a long way, really long way.
And did you lock through?
Yes, I did. I locked through twice. It's bad.
And how many short fish did you catch today?
Since I think I caught 3, but it's just not easy. I mean, it was a real challenge. Oh yeah, this is the
yes.
I caught.
Get excited for those keepers.
Sure.
Do you find concentrations of fish the same size,
Keeper.
or do you have to move on to new areas?
No, I have to move like 55 plays. This
Maybe.
is actually I thought it was a keeper, but it was a non-keeper.
But you absolutely can never give up. A hand for Takahiro, and we send it right back up top, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, Takahiro Omori won the Classic last year in the dying moments of day 3. He might be forced to do that here if he even makes the cut tomorrow. Tough day for him, but he went down the Ohio River, and hardly any of the anglers here went down current, down the Ohio. I mean, what about that strategy? He was one of few that went that way.
Long run, but he had a payout of big fish if he could catch them. There's some real good grass in the Beaver, and that's a little tributary that comes in the Ohio. It's the farthest point you can go.
It's a risk. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Is it rolling the dice?
It's a big time risk. You got to go through 2 locks to get there. It's a long idle, and this is the big risk for these guys. Are you going to make that run again? That's a tough decision for Takahiro.
Right,
Yeah.
Rojas went in there too with him. I mean, there's a number of anglers that went down there.
Is he going to even entertain the notion of doing that
I doubt
tomorrow?
it. I think he's going to stay close. I don't think he wants to make that run again.
No, the chance of zeroing again, you know, this is a winner-take-all deal, though, basically.
Yep.
I mean, you're only here to win.
Okay, so 1 fish for Takahiro Omori, the defending champ. That's all for him. He's going to have to catch some tomorrow and probably catch limit to make the cut. So Takahiro Omori is down in 9th, but remember, this is still the early stages of day 1 of the weigh-in. Jimmy Mize, though, still hanging tough with 6 pounds 2 ounces. And Aaron Martens, the man that was the troll last year fishing under the bridges. Lots of bridges here in Pittsburgh to choose from. The beautiful city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with its 3 rivers, the Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio. That is where we are. It is a city of champions, and this weekend, it is the city of the 35th Bassmaster Classic by Citco.
I'm Davey Hyde, and you're watching the 2005 Citco Bassmaster Classic on ESPN.
It's 3 days of fishing on the Allegheny,
The Ohio,
Mahogany,
Monongahela,
Monongahela,
and
and the Mon, and that's all you're getting out of me.
I think Marty Stone's got the right idea. Here's a reminder, make a note of this. Bassmaster Classic coverage continues tomorrow with a full day of action. At 11 o'clock at ESPN2, it's Bass Center with live Bass Center in-game updates to the Classic every half hour, and that's beginning at 7 a.m. Then at noon, catch live tournament coverage on ESPN, and then we are back right here at Mellon Arena at 5:30 for weigh-in of day number 2. You know, after coming to this beautiful city for the last 3 decades and actually a little bit more doing sporting events, I'll tell you, they need a huge pat on the back for what they've done to their city as far as cleaning up the water and cleaning up the city itself. In fact, right now, let's take a look at a feature. Pittsburgh then and Pittsburgh now.
The Steel City, the city of bridges, the city of champions, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Situated at the point where the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers converge to form the Ohio, Pittsburgh has been a city of dramatic change throughout its history. The area was first occupied by the French in the late 1600s as a fur trading post, only to relinquish Fort Duquesne to the British during the French and Indian War. With access to raw materials, especially coal, a blast furnace was built in 1792, helping to spur the development of the most prosperous steel production in the nation. As industrialism flourished in Pittsburgh during the 1800s, the Steel City encountered a wave of environmental concerns, including soot-filled skies and polluted waters. John Parton, noted author, referred to it as hell with the lid taken off. But Pittsburgh became a place synonymous with hard work and innovation. Beginning in the 1970s, the steel industry's decline gave way to other, more diversified business services. Technology, healthcare, and banking flourished as Pittsburgh became a world leader in organ transplants, biomedical technology, and finance. Pittsburgh became the city of champions. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls, and the Pirates won 2 World Series in the 1970s. The Pirates now have PNC Park, and the Steelers have Heinz Field. The Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela will do what Old Three Rivers Stadium never did: host a Super Bowl. The 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic, the Super Bowl of bass fishing, will be fished on these rivers. What was once unimaginable is now reality.
All we can say is, way to go, Pittsburgh. You deserve a huge pat on the back. Your city is beautiful. Jerry Eusta has joined us on the telecast now. He is fishing in this event. He's from Zimbabwe, and I'm afraid he got DQ'd today. Jerry, explain exactly what happened.
Well, first thing this morning, you know, I was quite aware that I was fishing in a no-wake zone, and it's only 5-minute idle to where I was fishing. So, you know, I idled to the area I was going to fish along the bank, and about 10 minutes fishing, and you know, I really caught a good keeper. And we came across some barges that were tied to the bank, so I wanted to go around them and fish the bank on the other side. And I guess, you know, just the pressure, or maybe it was just instinct, you know, started up, and there was a barge coming past. So, you know, I waited until everything was clear, and you know, it was just instinct. I, you know, hit the throttle, got on the plane, and as I was about to, you know, push the trim button, I realized what was happening, and you know, I buttoned off, and I said to my observer, I said, man, I've just made a huge mistake.
And you self-reported yourself at that very instance, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, in these things, they're rules, and even if you break these rules and it's a mistake, you know, you've broken the rules. So what I did was, we called Trip and just asked him what I should do next. So, you know, he said, hey, the rules are the rules, buddy. Please, can you just release
You lose the weight of the day, and you have to come right off the water, right?
Yeah, I had to take the fish out that I caught. I had to take them out the live well, and I went back to the ramp. And, you know, you can't afford to lose 1 second of concentration, even if it's something like that with instinct. You know, when you get to this level, you can't afford to make mistakes like this.
And you've come 9,000 miles from Zimbabwe to fish in this. Your wife is here with you. You had to be really disgusted with yourself.
Absolutely disgusted. You know, to travel 9,000 miles and fish for 25 minutes and, you know, make a mistake that there's only one person I can blame, and that's myself. You know, even the fish that I caught today was disgusted. I mean, he puked all over my shoes and my socks. You know, I got back to the room at 9 o'clock. I was back in the room, and I looked at my socks. I had to change them and wash my shoes.
Thank you so much. You're a class guy to come by and visit with us about this. Jerry Eusta, you're still in the tournament. You can get back and qualify for Sunday's appearance as well, okay? Here are the standings. Jimmy Mize with 6 pounds and 2 ounces. Then Martens and Stacy King tied for second. Then Skeet Reese. And on page number 2, Baumgartner and Rojas with 1 pound each, but they caught fish. And the youth of today, well, normally what they do is they emulate their heroes. Well, I guess if your hero is Mike Iaconelli, that's okay.
Yeah. That's it. Number 1, baby.
Hi, I'm Jay
Eddie Ellis.
I'm Rick Clunn.
I'm Mitch Monroe.
Zell Rowland.
Dean Rojas.
I'm Mike Iaconelli.
I'm Skeet Reese.
I'm Marty Stone.
And these are the rules of our game.
The world's best anglers compete
In the 2005 Citco Bassmaster Classic. 3 days of competition. 3 days of cracking the whip.
on the Allegheny,
The Ohio.
And the Mon. It's a catch and release tournament.
You're allowed to keep 5 each day.
Day 2 is elimination day.
Top 25 will qualify to fish in the third and final round.
The angler with the heaviest weight will be your 2005
Citco Bassmasters Classic World Champion.
And glad you're with us for the 35th Classic here in Pittsburgh. And because we're in Pittsburgh, naturally, we've been talking a lot about the rivers, the Monongahela, the Allegheny, and the Ohio. And naturally, because they're rivers, and you can't get anything by me, they're currents, right? Unlike lakes. And obviously, there's a difference in fishing rivers compared to fishing lakes. So let's talk a little bit about the currents and what they mean and how fish react in the currents.
Well, current really sets fish up. And what's interesting is when they were here in practice, they didn't have any current. So now they've had some rains, they've got current, it's setting the fish up. And what you look at here is the current will flow by on anything in the water, like a rock pile or a stump, a
barge holder,
bridge.
you know, all the barge holders they have out here.
Bridge
and all
piling.
The bridge piling.
Will create this little eddy and the fish set up in.
And right now there's been a large amount of currents than there was in practice, and that's the important part. Is now there's so much more current that you're finding these fish to get a lot more active because they're breathing better, the water's moving better, and the fishermen are so excited to see that current.
They've got to react quickly to baits too. When you got current, you get a bait going by them, they got to shoot out there and grab
reaction strikes.
And you don't want to give them time. You don't want to give the fish time to make a decision, do you?
Right.
No.
Exactly.
When
They
it's
don't have
slow,
arms.
these fish are asleep.
They don't have arms, right? They got to go out and get it with their mouth.
That's exactly right. They don't have hands.
I don't want to eat that.
And you know what? That's probably a reason why the fishing's been better because of the currents. It's better than we expected so far in the weigh-in. And Keith Allen's ready with our next angler, so we'll send it down on stage to Keith right now. Keith?
All right, let's go ahead and meet our next angler. It's the Oklahoma Kid. Put it together for Easy E, Edwin Evers. Boy, Edwin had an unbelievable season. How was your day today, E? Talk to me, brother. How'd it go?
It went pretty good. I ended up getting 4 of those things.
Caught 4 of those things. We'll reach into that Triton live well, and let's see what these 4 fish are going to do to the leaderboard right here. Look at you, y'all mic'd up like Janet Jackson, ready to get it done out here. Edwin, for those who don't know, just had an unreal season, came awfully close a couple of times, and then finally got the monkey off his back in Lake Norman, where he took the win. And let's see what these 4 fish are going to do for you. As it stands, Jimmy Mize on top of the leaderboard with 6 pounds and 2 ounces. We got 4 fish in there. We've got 1 penalty going to get assessed on you for fish care. You're going to take a couple ounces off of your catch here. Evers with 4 fish, looking to get inside that top 5 at least. See if we can shake up this leaderboard. If these other 3 will settle down, we'll get a digit for you. 3 pounds, 10 ounces after the penalties assessed. How about a hand for Edwin Evers as he is now tied for 8th place with that. Coming into this tournament, what were you thinking it's going to take to go home as a classic champion?
Well, you need to catch, 5 fish a day, and, I'm thinking 14, 15 pounds is going to win this thing.
Well, you think that's still going to hold up?
Yeah, I do.
You think you're going to be able to be that guy that gets it?
I'm not out of this thing. I had that 5th fish on a couple times today and had one real good 2-pounder I saw, and I'd like to have that fish back, but I know right where she lives, and I'll go get her tomorrow.
Probably going to be the first spot tomorrow for you. How about a hand for Edwin Evers, Bass Pro Shops teammate, getting it done here in the Classic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get loud. Let's get proud. Let's go, Ike, for Mike Iaconelli. Woo! What's up? Woo! Woo! Just another day of the office for Iaconelli. Look at him running the Pirates colors and the Penguins colors. Look at you, man. You got your Penguins jersey on. You're all fired up for hockey season. Pirates hat and a yellow and black boat. You're a marketing genius, dude.
Thank you.
How was the day, brother?
I had an amazing day. As tough as it is, at the Bassmaster Classic is the most exciting tournament of your life, and I wouldn't rather be any place but Pittsburgh, baby. Woo!
Give me what you got. Reach in to grab that bag. Uh-oh. Check it out, brother. How many you got in there?
I got 4.
He's got four fish, and he's feeling good. He's all fired up. He's running to the scales. He wants every last drop of water in there. And let's talk a little bit about approaching this tournament here. We're going to see what the number is here on the scales. Jimmy Mize is leading it with 6'2", just so you know.
Yeah.
You had the foresight to come here back in October and spend some time sniffing out this little pond we got here. These 3 rivers, if you will. Did what you learned then, did that hold up, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that helped me out. I mean, this is going to be a marathon tournament. This is going to be the guy that can catch just enough to kind of stay in the hunt the whole week. So
4 pounds, 7 ounces puts him into the top 5. Let's hear it for Mike Iaconelli. Hold him up, brother.
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Let's get over here and take a look at your day on the water, man. What do you got going on here? What's going down?
This is, you know, a lot of the cover here is industrial type cover, and this is, you know, a classic piling type situation. And I'm throwing a little tiny finesse crankbait, you know, and this is a half hour into the day. So to start the day out with a quality keeper like this, I mean, this is it's exciting.
That's it. Number 1, baby. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
It's contained going on, so it's contained because it's not a giant fish.
It's a bbig one too, man.
Okay, that one's in the box.
It's a big one
and
too.
You are full speed. Are you staying in that area?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I hit about 30 or 40 spots today and caught probably 10 fish. And, you know, this is going to be a game of ounces. I mean, every ounce is going to be critical in this tournament. So, you know, you're really playing these fish. You're taking your time getting them in. Even though they probably only weigh a pound or a pound and a half, you know, every ounce is going to count. So making sure I land these fish is important. It's going to be a finesse tournament, you know? Spinning rod, light line.
Looks like I see a little bit of water flowing back there.
Yeah, I said from day one of the keys in this tournament, without a doubt, is going to be current and water movement. And, you know, when you can fish current and read the water and fish current breaks, that's kind of the key. Here's one right here that came up schooling, and I was able to throw to that fish, and about 2 or 3 cranks in, he ate it up.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Just listen up.
Yeah! Yeah! Another 2-pounder. I caught him. Yeah! Yeah! Wes, I caught the fish. I mean, oh God, sorry. I want to do that again. I caught that fish and blew up! Ah! I'm too excited. I'm sorry. I'm being horrible today, man. You know, usually I yell at these fish, but you know, this is the Pittsburgh Classic, and I'm going to be nice to this fish. Dear sir, I honor you for being a worthy opponent. You noble creature, thank you for being a worthy adversary. Yeah!
Get her done. Having a hand for Mike Iaconelli. Guys, Bill, Sean, what do you think about this guy?
Oh, well, I'm kind of thinking, first of all, that Mike Iaconelli doesn't need that extra cup of coffee in the morning.
He's modest, he's low-key, he needs to come out of his shell, Bill.
That's it. I think we can keep drawing him out with a couple more classics, but we're seeing Mike Iaconelli, and he had a pretty good day. We're seeing Mike Iaconelli doing finesse fishing with lighter tackle. We saw him last year on Lake Wiley in North Carolina, power fishing. So I guess now is as good a time as any to explain the difference and why anglers are using both power fishermen and the lighter test guys and the finesse guys. Who wants to be the power guy?
I'll be the power guy,
You
buddy.
live in Florida.
I live in Florida.
Hunter. The gator hunter has to be the power guy.
Love the power.
That's a given.
The big thing about power, there's usually heavier action rods, heavier line, and a beefy reel. We're talking, this is like the winch on the front of my boat trailer, my Triton, right there. It's really, really tough. You can really winch them in. Jigs, spinner baits, you know, pretty much heavy baits, and it's active. You're always casting and going.
Well, our California guy's got to be the finesse guy.
Bring it on. Hey, but Iaconelli's no stranger. Every fish we saw him catch today is on a spinning rod.
Exactly.
Light line. This is a drop shot rig. You can fish light line. You can fish slower. You get a lot more bites with light line. And in conditions like this, when the fishing is tough and you just want keepers, put the little fairy wand in your hand and go after it, guys, because it is baby fishing. It's subtle. It's just exacting, This is the way it was in the West, and now everybody's doing it, Bill.
We're going to see both. What will win the Classic? The lighter, the finesse?
That is going to win the Classic.
It could go either way. It could go either way. Could go either way.
Bad prediction. I'm going with that.
And why, again, is it that Californians don't do a lot of power fishing and use more finesse?
Oh, they do power fishing. It's just that there's a lot more clear water. There's a lot more rocky water, a lot of deeper water. They're good at fishing both shallow and deep. A lot of guys are learning a lot more about finesse fishing in the South and in the East.
And fewer alligators.
We have horny toads and lizards, Bill. Is that where you're going? We got nothing.
Most of our southern waters are pretty deep and muddy and grassy and stuff like that.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so a lot of the anglers have weighed in. Some are power fishing and some are finesse fishing, but one guy yet to come is Kevin VanDam. Check this out. Earlier this year, caught, what was that, guys? Over 11 pounds
11,
in Texas.
13,
Unbelievable, and that record has already since been broken. And here you are with the leaderboard. Jimmy Mai one of the first guys to weigh in and still hanging tough at the top.
Yeah, but look underneath there. We got some power fishermen, you know, Skeet Ike. Timmy Horton, he's definitely a power fisherman. He goes all the way down to Andre Moore down there.
Andre Moore.
Swindle, he's still in the game.
He's still there. Can you believe that? Greg Gutierrez, another guy from the West. We got some Western guys all through there, but it's a good field.
Absolutely.
And remember, this is all about making the cut after day 2 tomorrow, but day 1 will continue after this. Sports cities in the United States, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home to the Steelers, the Pirates, and the Penguins, but some days, even past champions like Kevin VanDam have trouble on the water. He won in 2001. What did he do today? He caught a fish and, well, he caught more than a fish, didn't he?
No.
My fingers.
Ow. Yeah, all right. We could go a lot of places with that.
Stop it right there.
Has that ever happened to you? Anything like that?
Not that close. Not that close.
That could leave a mark.
That could be
Yeah, why is Kevin VanDam? A lot of people think Kevin VanDam, you picked him to be one of your 2. We gave you one. Why is he supposed to do well here?
Hottest angler on tour. You know, past 2 years in the E50, never missed a single cut.
And style-wise, is he right for it?
Great power fisherman, makes a lot of casts, but a lot of good casts. This guy is a precision genius, and he's a power fisherman, but he's an extraordinary one. Best we've ever seen.
Well, he says he does really well when it's tough fishing, and it's been tough fishing here. We'll see how he did and send you down to Keith. Keith?
He's a 2001 Citgo Bassmaster Classic champion and a 2-time Elite 50 Series champion. Put it together for Kalamazoo, Michigan's Kevin VanDam. KVD, talk to me, brother. How was your day? How was it out there, buddy? All good. All good in KVD's hood. And he pulls that back out of that Triton live well, and let's see what is in store. Oh, my. We're going to shake up that leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin, you're coming off of some serious momentum. You hadn't had a win since the Classic in 2001, and then comes the Elite 50 Series. You won the first year fishing consistently, but didn't take a tournament win. You won the second season, but you backed it up with back-to-back wins at the end of the season. Let's get a weight, and we're going to talk about your year and talk about the day. 6 pounds and 3 ounces moves you to the top of the leaderboard. We have one good fish in there. The Triton live wells are working real well. These fish are alive and kicking. 6'3" is the lucky number. 4 pounds, 11 ounces, and Kevin VanDam moves into 4th place. Hold them up for the fans. What do you say? That's what we came here for. VanDam getting on the smallies. We're going to take a look at you on the water today. What do you got going on here? It looks like you're getting a good fish in the boat early.
Yeah, you know, those smallmouths are mighty mean. I had a hard time. He got my kill switch. I was really covering water fast, so I was wearing my life jacket. You know, it's always good to be safe out there. But, you know, I just had a really tough day today. I was real fortunate to get a good bite like that. And, you know, but unfortunately, I didn't get them all either. So it's really a challenge out there. I was really disappointed in what I did today, and I've seen a lot of other guys had a tough day too. So I'm going to go out there tomorrow. I feel real good about what I'm doing, and I'm going to go out there tomorrow, and I'm going to bring in 5.
Kevin, I never seen a fish go after a kill switch like that. I think it was out for revenge at that point.
Yeah, they were mean to me today, and like I said, KVD's gonna get some payback tomorrow.
Well, you're coming off some great momentum off the 2 E50s. I'm thinking that's going to carry a little momentum into this here classic. This is a fishery and a type of tournament that caters right to your style. How about a hand for Kevin VanDam, ladies and gentlemen, and right back to Bill and Shaw.
I'm not Bill.
All right, so we see one of the great anglers of all time, Kevin VanDam, check in with a real nice weight total. We talked about mental toughness earlier in the show. I mean, where does Kevin VanDam rank in the mental toughness category?
Absolutely on top.
We both fish against this guy, and we don't want it.
He's a stud. I mean, I'll tell you, this guy does not miss a trick. He never gets mentally down. He could not have a single fish going in the end of the day, and he's still chunking as hard as he can.
Yep, any big surprise today? Anything jump out?
This is unbelievable. This guy is the guy to watch right now. He's fired up. You can hear it. He's ready to rock and roll. So.
And as I remember, he was Shaw's pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your guy,
I'm still picking Aaron.
Well, I'll tell you what. Take a look at the leaderboard for day 1. Your guy is right there, Byron. Aaron Martens. I mean, he is right there, tied for second. So all of the big names, or at least many of them, are right near the top as day 1 continues. And you can see that there are also big names that are down the list, which really does back up the point that this was some tough fishing here in Pittsburgh. It will continue to be tough tomorrow. We'll come back to wrap up day 1 after this. Our exclusive coverage of day 1 of the 2005 Citgo Bassmaster Classic has been brought to you by Citgo, by Purolator, and by Triton Boats. And that'll do it for our day 1 coverage here in Pittsburgh, and really many more fish caught than most people anticipated. And remember, live day 2 coverage begins at 7 a.m. on ESPN2 with Bass Center tomorrow. Full coverage, ESPN at 5:30. Well, one thing never changed all day long on our leaderboard. Jimmy Mize weighed in first. 46 anglers weighed in after him, and nobody was able to knock him out of the #1 spot. Some big names near the top, but some big names near the bottom, including Takahiro Omori, last year's champion, coming in at 31st. He's going to have to catch some fish tomorrow to make the cut. For Bass membership information, log on to Bassmaster.com. Well, for everyone involved with our coverage, thanks for being with us in Pittsburgh. Up next, the 2005 Alka-Seltzer U.S. Open of Competitive Eating.